Hey y'all. So happy Tuesday. Let me make sure y'all are coming into the room. But happy Tuesday. Okay, we got some people in the room. Hey Tanner. Hey Steph. I know I have no idea how to say this, so I don't want to butcher your first name, but Dottie, I think, is the last name. Hey Lavon. Hey Project 704. All right, checking in from Charlotte. That's what's up. But hey y'all. So I am happy to be back. I'm happy to be here. Hopefully you guys' week is off to a great start. Hey Mark. Hey Helena. Hey that guy from Texas. Hey Black Introvert. Hey Trenchwork Chronicles. Thank you for sharing my my post about my video. So if you have not seen my SHOT Show vlog, make sure y'all check that out. Hey Pilu, because I've been getting a lot of good feedback about that video, and I was very excited about it and got a chance to interview some really great and interesting people, and people doing some really good things in the community. So I really rock with that. I always support that. And I have no problem highlighting those things. There's really great, and that's what we want. Those are the things we want to see more of. And y'all know that's what I'm all about, showing positive sides, especially to the Black community and other things we have going on besides what's right in front of you in the media. They try to plaster in front of you like these are the only things that we care about, and it's just not the truth. And I just feel like you cannot complain about the media, and then when you have these avenues to create a voice or create a path, and you don't. So hopefully, I'm hoping I will be able to do more work like that. Helena J said I wanted to see the whole panel discussion. I know, right? I had so many people hit me up like, man, do you have the link to the full panel? I don't know if anybody else. Well, I know other people were filming. I don't know that anybody else has posted it or anything like that. Hey, Kinley's Way. But yeah, it was really good. It was really informational. A very, very diverse panel. And not only when you look at it, but very diverse in thought as well. And sometimes it's, I'm not big on like forced diversity, but with this particular panel, you can tell that a lot of these people are friends and colleagues and all these different things, working on different projects together and collaborating and all these type of things. So that was really a dope experience. And then it was my first time in Vegas, which most of the stuff I did was like SHOT Show related because I wasn't there very long. But if you know me, I'm a very like scenic person. So it was very beautiful. Like the mountains were beautiful, really nice like architectures and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that. So if you have not checked out that video, make sure you do that. I just posted that video, I think, yesterday. I was actually going to post it Sunday, and my patrons got a chance to see it Sunday. But after the news broke of like, Kobe's passing and the other people that were also on the plane, it was just too much. It was overwhelming. I know it was going to be a lot going on the internet. So that was kind of like my own, like, moment of silence or whatever. Black Introvert, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. No, I'm just playing. I absolutely did not I absolutely did not get wasted. But yeah, so it was a good time. I'm really hoping to do more stuff like that coming up in the future. Like I know one of the guys that I interviewed, and it's funny how it happened. I wasn't particularly gonna interview him. I was just standing in the room with my camera, and he's like, "Oh, you ain't gonna say good morning to me?" And I'm thinking, this is like somebody's uncle right here. Like I know y'all had that one uncle that, like, when you walk in the room, he wants you to get a special hello just to him. You can't just come in and be like, "Hey, family." It's like, oh, so you just ain't gonna speak to me? You didn't see me sitting here? You didn't see me standing here? So it's kind of like that. So I was like, while he's talking, let me just get this. But I know a couple of them have like events and stuff coming up this year that hopefully I'll be able to attend. So we'll see. Hey, Edward. But so if you are not subscribed or a member of my Patron, please consider becoming a member. It starts at just $2. Just $2 a month, okay? I do post exclusive videos over there. They get early uploads, and actually I'm going to be doing more stuff coming up. This last week or two has been like a freaking whirlwind, so I just feel like I've been doing everything and everywhere. But over this next couple weeks, I'm really going to be putting some more time into dedicating to my Patreon. So yeah, y'all, please go over there and please go over there and become a member of my Patreon. And while I'm talking about that, thank you to my Patreon subscribers. Also, thank you to my VIP patrons, Michael Ray, Valdis, and Ray Ray. Thank y'all so much. And somebody said, "Are you coming to the RNC convention here in my backyard, Charlotte?" No, I'm not particularly planning on it. But yeah, y'all. So unfortunately, we, lost a huge, just national, global force, energy, entertainer, highly competitive and skilled athlete, father, husband, several things. On Sunday, in a very tragic loss, along with his daughter and 7 others. I believe that's right. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. So 9 people all together. And this loss kind of took the world by storm. Y'all know me, if you've been rocking with me for a while, I'm not particularly starstruck or anything like that. I've actually met quite a few celebrities that I never talk about. I'm not a clout chaser. I don't, that's not like a thing to me. Mostly people are people, and I just treat people like people. And I'm not even a super sports fan. I did used to watch basketball back in high school pretty often. And that's because that was, when me and my little brother, we were living together in the same house with our parents. And so he, whatever my brother would do, even though he was my little brother, he played video games, I'm playing video games. He's watching basketball, I'm watching basketball. Like, it was whatever. So around that time I was, really watching basketball, but I wouldn't just say. And then I even played sports in school too. I'll tell y'all about that another time, because that's a whole different story. But yeah. And so even though I'm not like a huge super sports fan, and a lot of people felt the weight of this tragic loss. Super untimely, just a very still a young, healthy man. And so yeah, it's sad, and it's a tragedy, and it was very, very unexpected. And I feel like a lot of people felt the weight of that. and rightfully so. And even though I talk about the way we kind of put these entertainers on a pedestal, we have to be honest with ourselves in a way that we kind of, become somewhat familiar with these people, whether that be through social media, TV, the newspaper, the blogs, or whatever. And we know so much about their lives and their careers. And a lot of times, in a lot of ways, we immortalize these people, even though we may believe that's not the case. But for this to just happen so unexpectedly and people to feel the weight of it, I think that's a very natural human reaction and response. And it's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because whether you want to admit it or not, we are impacted some way by these people. Just even hearing their name constantly or seeing them on the television, that is impacting your life in some type of way. If you've ever been to particularly a Black Thanksgiving, okay, you have heard about Kobe Bryant. All right. All the uncles, the cousins gonna sit around the TV. They always gonna, this debate comes up every single time. Who's the best? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. And those conversations, those moments become etched, and they become a part of our stories and our lives, no matter how insignificant we may try to pretend those moments are. So, even just something as that has impact. And that is significant. So me even thinking about, this was probably like last Christmas or the Christmas before, have videos of my uncles and my dad arguing with my little brother about like who's the best. Like, so that's a moment in my mind forever. And so unfortunately, one thing about death is that it will show you, unfortunately, and maybe fortunately, show you a lot about life. And it can really show you what type of people people are. And this tragic death happened to also bring out the ugly side of a lot of people. So Monday, I pretty much was like off the internet for most part of the day. I just felt overwhelmed. I felt like people were being super annoying. I'm sure there was so much clickbait and conspiracy theories and all this stuff going up. And I literally was just watching on the news, and they were still showing parts of the aircraft literally in, smoking, smoldering. And you already have people talking about conspiracy theories online. Like, y'all, the helicopter is not even extinguished yet. And y'all know I'm down to listen to a good conspiracy theory, but like, good grief. You know what I mean? These people are still people. They're real people. And so I just think the internet just exposes, a lot of people for just some very deep, dark, just very, very ugly sides. And a lot of people, I think, are just miserable. They're just miserable. And they use Twitter and Facebook and Instagram to blast that misery to other miserable people. And we already live in a culture that just loves negativity and things like this. And so, even people going as far as reposting the very awful things, even if you didn't agree with it, you felt it was ugly, but to even give these people credence or to validate them says something. So yeah, but and another thing that I also thought about, right? So when the news broke, y'all, I was standing in the oh man. So my mom had a little minor surgery, and so she, I've been kind of helping her do some stuff, and she was like, oh, I want you to take me to church Sunday. And I'm like, okay, sure, I'll take you to church. And so after I leave the church, I'm just like, I just have to get me a good, because I've been in Vegas for a couple of days. I'm like, I just need a good country plate. A good country plate. This is where I call, y'all know the little, I can't even think of what they're called right now. They're like the white, y'all know, like the to-go boxes that fold down like this. And they have like the little 3 parts in it. And you go to like a deli or a cafeteria line, and they have like the macaroni and cheese and the turnip greens. And then you always have the choice of the little round cornbread. Y'all know the lines I'm talking about. So I'm standing there. That's what I call them, country plates. You gotta, they're good for the soul every now and again. Not all the time, I try to do the healthy thing, but every now and again. So y'all, I'm standing in a line, and this line is like super long because the side of town that I'm on, this place is like, really popular. Everybody's standing there for like these, $5 to $6 plates, but it's like the food is super good. So the line is long, and I'm standing there, and the tweet comes through, and I just see everybody like, what the hell? WTF? Like, no, this can't be true. Kobe. And I'm like, and so it's like, you kind of go into tunnel vision, right? And so I'm just looking, and I just start seeing people's reactions in the line, right? And I hear people, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Kobe, helicopter, this and the other. And I hear people, Kobe, blah, blah, blah. And then my uncle happens to walk in the store. And I'm like, man, like, did you hear about Kobe? Because I just text my dad. And he was like, nah, what happened? And I told him the news, and he was like, wow. And the guy standing in front of me in line turned around, and he was like, Kobe? Like, really? I was like, yeah. And that guy that it was like an older guy, he looked like he maybe came from church that day or whatever. He ended up paying for my food randomly, which was like really nice. And he was like, yeah, I got it. And I was like, okay, cool. And I just love little random blessings like that, like $5, $6 plate. I'm totally down for. I'm like, maybe that's why I was craving it so bad. But anyway. But I started thinking, I was like, wow. Like, had this been back in the day, do y'all realize how we receive information is so different now? Like, years and years ago, you wouldn't have known this until like the 5 o'clock news, the 10 o'clock news. And we would have processed things totally different, kind of removed from the entire world, right? Because, the Kobe conversation would have probably been between like my family, call my girlfriend, oh, can you believe what happened to Kobe, blah, blah, blah. But now we are experiencing these things with the world. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know. It was like a heightened sense of reality or something. I was like, wow, to just see everybody's reactions in real time as everybody is receiving this information to their phone. I'm like, that's like crazy. That's crazy. And in a lot of ways, I feel like, technology has advanced us. But then a lot of ways, I don't know. It's caused a lot of like backwards thinking, and it's also caused a lot of like, I don't know the right word to use, but the level of influence that the blue checks have, the media personalities have, and how they can also steer emotions or social engineering, that can be bad. So I don't know. it's just really weird how we receive information, how we sharing things now, how we deal with things. Because even me having to get off social media Monday, because I'm like, y'all doing the most. Like, this is too much. And me feeling the weight of that just negative energy. I'm like, I don't need this. Levon says social media and technology has created most evil a-holes. I am seeing fools making bad memes over his death. I mean, it really is going to bring out the most ugly, evil sides of some people. And that's just ridiculous. But yeah, I just wanted to address that. I didn't want to make a separate video about that because first of all, I'm not like a news reporter, so everything that goes viral or happens, I'm just not gonna make a video about it. I'm not. But I also knew that a lot of people were going to be using this for clickbait just to get their views up, and things like that. But I certainly did want to address it or whatever. So y'all know they're going to be talking about him very heavily over the next coming weeks, if not months. Y'all see how long Nipsey has been a conversation. So you can just imagine, going forward. But all right, y'all. So let's talk about, first we're going to talk about this. Well, okay, let's talk about Tulsi first. Because once I talk about this, I'll be done with this. And then we just going to talk about Bernie and all his stuff he got going on. Egg Beater said Kobe was a habitual rapist that has enough money to pay his way out of jail. And ridiculous response. Are you serious? So I'm not sure if Egg Beaters is talking to me or somebody in the chat, but this is what I'm going to say about that. I have not seen any information to suggest or that Kobe was convicted of being a habitual rapist. Also, when somebody passes, I have never once said, I even told somebody this on the phone, when documentaries or whatever, because one thing about me, I'm not a liar, okay? When documentaries come out about Kobe, I think it's very fair to talk about even what we may perceive to be as darker sides of his legacy, career, or whatever the case may be. So I never suggested that this shouldn't be told in his story, okay? But for people to use that as clickbait, for these so-called feminists to care so much about these allegations, because that's what they are. They're allegations, but not care about his grieving wife and remaining daughters, that's problematic and hypocritical. And so, like I said, allegations. Should those allegations be discussed in some type of way? I'm not opposed to that. But the way y'all go out of y'all way to absolutely freaking destroy people, particularly in this Me Too movement, and that has caused every freaking man to have some type of allegations at this point, and it's so muddy. And so this hatefulness of just wanting to tear down this man in such a tragic moment, like, you're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. It's evil. It's very unethical. And nothing is woke about that. And like I said, allegations. Plenty of people have allegations. And so if you're going to talk about allegations, that's fine. I never even addressed it. And I never even said specifically what people were saying. So don't try to direct your anger and your fake wokeness towards me, because one thing I'm not a liar, and I don't see any reason to leave that out of any story. If you're going to put a documentary in there, I think that's fair, but the freaking helicopter was still smoking. So we want to see the conviction and the proof. That's it. And there's nothing wrong for people to say that. Like, y'all kill me. Y'all kill me. You want to glorify in this man's death. How sick and disgusting and evil can you be? And we have rapists walking around right now that y'all don't give a crap about unless some blue check tells you to. If you care, you wouldn't have needed a blue check to tell you to. Some of y'all are ridiculous, and I'm sorry I'm getting upset, but this just brings so much back to my mind. I was going to address this the other day, and I didn't. But people come to my page and make the most ridiculous comments. They think that they can click on one video with whatever type of title. They think they can sit there and watch 2 minutes out of a 10-minute video, and they can click through 2 or 3 and just have me all figured out. Let me tell you something. You don't have me figured out. The people that continually watch me, continually rock with me, at this point, I literally know these people by name. Yes, some people watch and never say nothing or whatever the case may be, but literally the people that interact with me and really rock with me, I know these people by name. And if my memory was better, I would actually know where people are from. Some of y'all are so ridiculous. You don't care about nothing until a blue check tells you to. And that's the whole problem with this Kobe thing. Until some freaking white feminazi came on there to tarnish this man and his legacy in the very moment of people grieving him. That's the problem. Not bringing up the allegations, talking about his legacy. So don't conflate the two. People over here, people that really rock with me, we care about stuff all the time. This is why I will sit up here and make a freaking video that I know is only going to get 300 views. I know it's only going to get 500 views, because I know out there 500 people actually care about the real stuff going on in this world. Not because of freaking Don Lemon or Angela Rye or whoever. And so you can go. Like, seriously. Just go. Like Dave Chappelle said, you clicked on my face. So remember that. You clicked on my face. I did not click on yours. But anyway, like I was saying about the blue check thing, like, people are like zombies. And this is what I was saying when I was talking about earlier, how the whole social media thing can be a good thing or a bad thing, because we kind of get to experience these things together and talk about them. But then you have this one person or these couple of people that come out and say stuff, and you have miserable people like this that just freaking rally around them. And sorry to tell you, I don't particularly glorify in anybody's death. I don't care who it is. And I know some of y'all hate to freaking hear that. I know, because y'all are so, crime and punishment and evil and blah, 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 blah. And this person was this and this person was that. That's not me. And I'm never going to be something I'm not. Like, and so if y'all have not realized by that, you're in the wrong place. So, but my thing is that it's just annoying. It's just annoying. And I literally did not do a Kobe video, because for the simple fact, I know it's an easy video to just get likes and just to get people watching your channel, because everybody's going to be talking about it. And I am not that person. And I sincerely talk to y'all about stuff that people don't even freaking be talking about. And I know the video isn't going to get 5,000 views, 4,000 views, because that's not what I'm here to do. Believe it or not. So, like I said, at the end of the day, like, allegations are allegations until proven otherwise. And I don't think we should totally ignore that. I don't. I think that's fair, particularly for people in journalism looking at the totality of his legacy and the impact of his career and things he's been through. Of course, we expect them to cover those things, and rightfully so. I personally think it would be intellectually dishonest for them to not include that. But they need to include the results, what happened, the fact that they were allegations, what happened with the allegations, the directions it took, and things like that to make it fair journalism. You cannot get more fair and balanced than that. So don't come over here and tell me anything otherwise. But no, Levon, it's not just him. It's not just him. This is the summation of me realizing, just dealing with people in general and seeing people that don't even freaking watch my content. And you will come over here and they'll make these whole, like, you writing me paragraphs about like my personality and who I am. And then got the nerve to say, oh, but I really haven't watched your videos. Well, you could have just kept your comment. So it's very frustrating that people are not hyped up and caring about anything until some freaking blue check gives them the green light, puts the battery in their back, hypes them up, pulls their puppet strings, and like, oh yeah, I give y'all permission to be mad about this today. And then everybody gets riled up. No, don't get mad at me because I'm not riled up with your fake wokeness. Like, so, I don't know. But anyway, y'all, I just went off on a whole tangent. And I don't know, some stuff I don't be rocking with. And these last couple of days, people just been making my head hurt on this whole internet thing because y'all just too much. Y'all just too much. And y'all think y'all be knowing what you talking about, and you don't. You don't. You really don't. But anyway, let's move on because I have other stuff to talk about, and I wasn't even planning to talk about that long. But and I'm actually supposed to be going to meet my homegirl tonight because her birthday was yesterday, and we're supposed to be doing dinner. So I really can't even be in here all night. But all right, so I want to talk about Tulsi a little bit, y'all, because she is suing Hillary Clinton. This is according to NBC News. So Tulsi Gabbard sues Hillary Clinton for $50 million, claims defamation over Russian asset remark. So Clinton said during a podcast interview last fall that one of the Democratic candidates is a favorite of the Russians, leading Gabbard to lash out. So Democratic presidential candidate Representative Tulsi Gabbard filed a defamation lawsuit Wednesday against Hillary Clinton seeking $50 million in damages, claiming the former Democratic presidential nominee carelessly and recklessly impugned her reputation when she suggested in October that one of the 2020 Democratic candidates is a favorite of the Russians. The lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York says it aims to hold Clinton and other political elites accountable for distorting the truth in the middle of a critical presidential election. It also says Gabbard suffered an economic loss to be proven at trial. Clinton's spokesman, that's ridiculous. Gabbard, a dark horse candidate who represents Hawaii. What the heck is a dark horse candidate? was on the campaign trail Wednesday and unavailable for comment in the suit, according to her law firm. Although Rep. Gabbard's presidential campaign continues to gain momentum, she has seen her political and personal reputation smeared and her candidacy intentionally damaged by Clinton's malicious and demonstrably false remarks. So, y'all already know Tulsi is already also suing Google as well. Because thank you, Theta. Because she, they were suppressing her website that night where she did like really great in a debate, and everybody was like, who is Tulsi? Who is Tulsi? And this and the other. And so she's suing Hillary Clinton for $50 million. I absolutely love this. I think it's a great thing. I don't necessarily think she's gonna win, and I actually think, based on the Clintons' history and all the theories floating around about the Clintons, this could possibly be bad for her. But yeah, I don't think she is gonna win that, because that would just be too freaking groundbreaking. The Clintons have too many connections, this and the other. They can pull strings. I don't foresee her winning. But I think the best part about it is that to publicly see Tulsi actually standing up to the Clintons, standing up to the DNC, it's kind of like a little bit of a glimmer of hope, I would say, because as we're going to talk about Bernie tonight, I just do not get the vibe that Bernie is going to like stand up or just put his foot down to anybody. You know what I mean? So to me, I like to see this, and I wish other people would take this route to finally just shut the Clintons all the way down. Hillary Clinton, like, why are you still here? Why are you still even talking? Like, on a lot of levels, I just wish she would go away. That's just me. The War on SJW said this makes Tulsi look sensitive. I can see that. But the only reason why, I can see where you're coming from, but the only reason why I still think this needs to be done is because the DNC is literally sabotaging people. That's the problem. So let me say this. On the surface level, right? If it was just talking and you didn't have people like Hillary Clinton and the DNC actively engaging and sabotaging people like Tulsi and Bernie, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, you're totally right. But when you have these people coming together, they're locking people out based on skewed polls and money and things like this. The media is totally locking out certain candidates, just being ridiculous. I think that this is a good step because it at least shows that somebody is standing up to them. And I think that's what a lot of people don't like about Bernie. And that's what a lot of people are starting to see about Bernie. It's like, sometimes you just want that candidate that's just going to stand up and take that hard position on some things. And so, yeah, I hope this works. I wish other people would back Tulsi up and stop like alienating her. But just imagine, right? Just imagine if all of the candidates that are the dark horses, like Trenchworth said, he said it's kind of like the underdogs or something like that. Just imagine if all the dark horses had some kind of camaraderie. Then I think that would just change the game. I think that would just change the game, but it's just not. It's just not going to happen. So y'all know, but I love to see it. But we are at the point where Hillary is literally still has her foot in everything, and she is basically trying to sabotage Bernie as well, also with the blue checks and all these other people. So y'all know Joe Rogan came out and
popular podcaster and comedian Joe Rogan.
Okay, Elmer said a dark horse is a competitor that is not likely to win. I think it's interesting when articles use terms like that, right? To kind of engineer, in little ways, kind of engineer your position on the article instead of just giving the information. But so yeah. But Joe Rogan came out, I'm sure y'all are aware, came out and not even really endorsed Bernie. You know what I mean? But the blue checks, the feminists, the leaders of the LGBTQ, everybody went crazy. So let's look at this article real quick by The Hill. I'm like, so this is according to The Hill. Joe Rogan says he's probably voting for Bernie Sanders. So popular podcaster and comedian Joe Rogan said that he will most likely vote for Senator Bernie Sanders in the upcoming Democratic presidential primary, saying the White House hopeful has been insanely consistent his entire life. Him as a human being, when I was hanging out with him, I believe in him. I like him a lot. He said while speaking with a New York Times columnist, look, you can dig up dirt on every single human being that's ever existed if you catch them in a worst moment and you magnify those moments and you cut out everything else and you only display those moments, Rogan continued. That is so ironic that he said that, right? That's totally ironic. That said, you can't find very many with Bernie. He's been insanely consistent his entire life. He's basically been saying the same thing his whole life. And that in and of itself is a very powerful structure to operate from. So Bernie Sanders, just goes and, screens grab or whatever the case may be. And he just posted.
Who are you going to vote for?
To his Twitter.
I think I'll probably vote for Bernie. Him as a human being, when I was hanging out with him, and I believe in him. I like him a lot. What Bernie stands for is a guy who, well, look, you could dig up dirt on every single human being that's ever existed if you catch them in their worst moment and you magnify those moments and you cut out everything else and you only display those worst moments. That said, you can't find very many with Bernie.
So anyway, he goes on to talk about this, and it looks like somebody from Bernie team or something kind of added clips into this video, whatever. So this says the significance of Rogan's apparent endorsement caused the clip to begin trending in the United States with more than 111,000 tweets using his name. Some criticized Sanders for accepting the endorsement given past comments Rogan has made mocking the transgender community and feminists. So, oh Lord, this just goes on to talk about this. So you have some people responding, right? Elizabeth says, listen to me now. I can't believe I have to say it. No damn needs Joe Rogan's base to defeat Trump. We also don't need to catapult to homophobia and transphobia, which, by the way, kills people, smacks forehead for any reason. This is foul, justifying stuff. No way around it. Marcus, Joe Rogan today, Richard Spencer tomorrow, David Duke. If we're for throwing minorities under the bus to win over the white working class, is that the next step? We said for years that anti-identity politics, class over race argument will lead to this. So, y'all, this just goes on to talk about this. I believe Bernie actually ended up deleting the clip because I was looking for it directly on his page. And I could not find it. But this goes on to talk about how Joe Rogan compared Black people to Planet of the Apes. And then let me read y'all's Bernie's response. The goal of our campaign is to build a multiracial, multi-generational movement that is large enough to defeat Donald Trump and the powerful special interests whose greed and corruption is the root cause of the outrageous inequality in America. Sharing a big tent requires including those who do not share every one of our beliefs while always making clear that we will never compromise our values, Gray said in a statement to The Hill. So I guess this was his spokesperson. So once again, the perfect example of people getting riled up after blue check Twitter tells them to get riled up. This is what this is. It is obvious. It should be completely obvious to y'all that they are actively trying to sabotage Bernie Sanders. It's so obvious. Last week, it's also kind of funny, right? Because Bernie is supposed to be probably the most woke candidate. You know what I mean? And so it's also kind of funny and ironic just to see the turn of events in real time. But it should be obvious to everybody that they are completely trying to sabotage Bernie Sanders. Just a week or 2 weeks ago, out of all these years of being in the public eye, we never knew he was a sexist. Now all of a sudden he's a sexist. Now this man, and this is how I know these people don't know marketing. Like a lot of these people are just losers by nature. They don't think with a winning strategy. You do not have to like Joe Rogan as a person to know that this endorsement is a possible win or definitely a highlight for Bernie. Okay. Also, see, this is what I'm trying to understand. And this is when we start getting into a really, and see, I'm going to make some connections here to bring it all back. This is where it all starts to get weird and people start to not make sense and people are way too wrapped up into social media. When does highlighting a few seconds of somebody saying they may vote for you, how in the entire world does that become a complete endorsement of everything this person has ever said, everything they've done, every person they hung around, talked to, what they ate for breakfast this morning, what they did on January 18th, 1992? How are the two related? Can somebody please? Y'all have gotten so woke that you do not make sense. I don't think I'm very human. Now, I don't know. I might be wrong. Y'all might be different. But I particularly know I don't want to be held to every single thing I've ever said, every single thing I've ever done. My position has changed on things. I've said some insensitive things. And this is not me going to bat for freaking Joe Rogan. This is just me saying in general, this is a very losing strategy to going forward. And this just is more proof that progressiveness eats their own. Joe Rogan is about as freaking liberal as he can get. Like some of the stuff he says, I even be like, dude, like really? Like, this is a losing strategy. If you are going to go back 10 years to find every single thing everybody has said on Twitter, absolutely Hemlock. Hemlock said progressives are usually authoritarian. Because it's like, if you don't think like this, if you don't talk like this, if you don't act like this, you cannot be in a room with us. You cannot be associated with us. If you diverge from this line even a little bit, you can't have anything to do with us. If I find out you said something in 1964 that I didn't like, it's a problem. How is that not the weirdest freaking logic? And you can tell some of these people you're just not strategic thinkers. You don't have a winning mindset. You don't know about marketing and strategy. You don't know how people can use things as an opportune moment. I did not think for 1 second this man putting up an ad of somebody saying they're going to vote for him is an endorsement of everything the person has ever said. I don't think people would endorse anything anybody's ever said. It makes no sense. People literally, you have people, this is how far gone y'all are. You have people thinking that people saying rest in peace to freaking Kobe Bryant is an endorsement of rape. This is where we are. This is how screwed up y'all mentalities are. I cannot say rest in peace to a freaking father, a husband, one of the greatest athletes of our time, one of the biggest inspirations to a lot of children. And somehow in y'all twisted freaking fantasy, social media bugged out clown world thinking, to you, that's a freaking endorsement of rape. Y'all gone too far. It's too far. You're not even making sense anymore. It's just too much. It's too much. And it's so bad. And it's getting even worse that it's going to crumble. All of this is going to crumble. All of this is fake. It's a lot of fakeness going on. I'm going to show you how fake. If people really care, about homophobia and the transphobia and the race phobia. So a couple weeks ago, Dave Chappelle came out and endorsed Andrew Yang. Like, you had a couple people mentioning it. A couple people talking about it. Did you have these freaking hit pieces, like people coming out of the woodworks, Andrew Yang trending for hours, days even, trying to sabotage this man? Aren't his jokes just as polarizing? Are Dave Chappelle's jokes not just as polarizing? Why was there not the same amount of outrage? We know why. because they don't see Andrew Yang as a threat. I mean, that's just what it is. And so this, y'all know, I don't particularly get hyped up in the outrage. Like, it's just not my thing. It's very tiring. It's very cumbersome. I put my energy into doing real work, doing real things, living a real life. And I know a lot of people, y'all, so stuck in your phones and your computers, and it's your life. It's your life. I get it. But some of us just do not get hyped up in the blue check frenzies. We don't get mad. We don't counsel people every single time a blue check tells us to. We don't denigrate people. We don't get hyped up. We don't let them put a battery in our back to just be mad. We can say, oh, a father died. Rest in peace to that father, without endorsing every single thing that person has done in their freaking life. We can see Bernie post the ad and say, oh, Joe Rogan is voting for him, without endorsing everything Joe Rogan has done in their entire life. Like and then people literally want Bernie. I saw people, he should have addressed Joe Rogan. He should have called him out diplomatically. He should have handled Joe Rogan. Like what? Like a father figure? So this man is supposed to step from his platform to scold Joe Rogan like a child? Like, y'all my mind cannot fathom how, as a culture, we've gotten to a society where you standing in a freaking room, you can be in a room of 500 people, and I promise you, if somebody is there, they will say by you being there, you basically endorsing that person. That's where we've got to as a culture, because that just makes so much sense. Man, that's just, if that's not a losing strategy, then I just do not know what is. We've literally gotten to a place where you cannot have any type of and it's going to get even harder for comedians. So at what point, who gets to say what's comedy or not? And that's why I can't, I'm super like, oh, we need to be free speech, because who makes the rules? Who gets to say, oh, that was comedy and that wasn't, because, what, 2%, 3%, 4% of people got offended? Like, I don't know. And this idea that everybody is going to be on board with everything and just hold hands and walk into the sunset and sing Kumbaya, and we're all just going to have the same morals and values and look at everything the same. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And so until people realize that, you're going to live a very mad, angry life. This desire to control people and their decisions. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know if I made this clear, but I just want this to be on the record. I am very like, do you? I'm going to do me. When you get to the point where you're trying to impose on how I act, how I speak, what I teach my children, that's when we have a problem. That's when we have a problem. But I'm not out here trying to impose my will or I'm not, man, please. Y'all think no. There's a lot of people out here that I'm sure don't agree with me, may not like me, may be racist, maybe whatever. Misogynistic. I hate to even use these words sometimes now because they've been so diluted from what they actually are. I cannot make this up to y'all, make this stuff up. This is the world we live in right now. I saw a girl tweet this the other day, and she said, y'all, man, this girl said that if a woman comes to her partner, right, her male partner, to talk about her day or something like that, and he gives her advice, she said this is a result of patriarchy. Because patriarchy tells men they have to be logical and fix problems. And maybe she just wants to vent to you. So I'm like, you mean to tell me, hold on, because I want to make sure I understand. So you mean to tell me a couple of nights ago, when I was talking to my homegirl and I was telling her, about this and about that, and she was, listening to me, and then she was like, girl, I think blah, 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 blah. She was acting patriarchal. That's what you're telling me right now. So anytime my girlfriend gives me advice, because I'm just telling her about my day, telling her about something that went wrong, it's because of patriarchy. Y'all, this is the world we live in. I cannot make this stuff up, man. These people, they might be too far gone. They may be too far gone. In what world does that make sense? I said, or I don't know, you could say, hey, baby, I had a bad day. I just want to vent a little bit. I don't know. Just giving you options here. Like what? And unless your dude is like a total jerk, I mean, I could foresee him being like, okay, cool. What's up? What happened? Tell me about your day. But naturally, I thought that was a natural reaction because now I'm feeling way misogynistic lately. Because my homegirl actually called me. She actually called me Saturday. I was like, girl, you ain't gonna believe. And I was like, calm down, sis. I'm like, just give it some time to blow over. Everything gonna work out. I ain't even know. I was just trying to help my homegirl calm down. Just think about things, take a breather. I didn't even know I was over here with all this toxic masculinity. And I really got to do something about that. That's crazy. I can't just be out here manly toxic like that. But I'm like, these people are so far gone, man. Okay, cool. Just do that over there. Don't teach that stuff to my kids. Don't try to have me going around saying cis man this and cis man that. I still, like, a lot of stuff don't even know what it means. Like, every day is new vocabulary. No. Can't do it. And I don't think somebody saying that is transphobic. That's another thing. All these rules they keep moving the line for what's transphobic, homophobic, xenophobic, racephobic. What's all the other phobics? They keep moving the lines too far, and it's blurring and it's diluting. This is why, man. This is why we cannot. They make stuff, and see, the media is really good at this, and people fall for it, right? They make stuff a point of contention instead of us actually focusing on the meat and what matters and being able to resolve issues. So they make it a point of arguments, right? So for example, with the Black Lives Matter thing, I might have said this before, I might have not, but I'll say it again. With the whole Black Lives Matter thing, y'all was literally out here arguing about whether Black Lives Matters or not, as far as like a slogan. I'm not about to argue with nobody about whether my life matters or not. I'm not arguing. What is that? What is that? It's not even logical. People are literally out here arguing about whether I don't care. Like, I don't care if you think my life matters. It makes no. What do I gain from arguing with you about whether my life matters, about whether Black Lives matters, about that's I don't even know the word I'm looking for. It's the most trivial thing ever, right? And so while y'all sitting up here and everybody on their side pointing fingers, and this person pointing fingers, this person dies more from police brutality, this person is affected more, and you still have these police that on a lot of levels are not being held accountable to the standard they need to. That's just it. That's the real issue. And police brutality affects a lot of people, a lot of different people. But instead of realizing that and actually having these states and governments, whatever, come to the table and resolve these issues instead of holding them accountable, y'all sitting up here arguing about who life matters or don't matters or matters more or matters the same or matters equal. Like, what? I just can't care about some of the stuff y'all be caring about. I just do not care. So therefore, that's a very unresolved issue that to this day became a huge contention point because people arguing over kneel or don't kneel, burn your Nikes or don't burn your Nikes, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry. For the people that want me to care, you really want me to care. You're mad because I don't care. You want me to. I'm sorry. I just don't have the energy. I just do not care. I care about the core issues actually being resolved. That's it. I don't have the energy. Like we around here trying to get people armed so they can protect themselves. We're around here working on these kids' reading skills. We're around here trying to get these kids something to look up to and look forward to. I don't have time to argue about a slogan. I don't have time to argue about a slogan. I don't have time to prove whether my life matters. I could care less what you think, because what I'm about to do, I'm about to arm my neighbor. So even if you don't think his life matters, he'll know it does. That's how we gonna respond to that. That's how we gonna do that. Everything else is trivial. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And that's why I'm starting to notice, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get off, y'all. But, hey, George. I saw George come into the room. But the more I literally pay attention to politicians in general, and the news media, it's this constant cycle of things just being rehashed, right? Because nobody feels like these core issues are being, fixed, corrected, whatever. And I'm like, oftentimes, a lot of the times, it's just a spinning news cycle. And we're arguing about the same things. Just over and over again. The World SJW said, check your male privilege, Rhonda. I swear I need to, because I've been acting out lately. I've been way toxic. Hey, Ray. I've been way toxic, man. I gotta get my toxic masculinity in check, cause woo, I've been something else lately. Might see me on a Gillette commercial or something out here. I don't know. But yeah, man. So I don't know. One day maybe y'all gonna let me know. We gonna figure it out in which direction I should go with my platform and moving forward like that. But one day, I don't know, maybe I will just do the random stories that don't really matter in the scheme of things. And because, we just like to talk and we like entertainment and we like drama and we like to argue and we like to find reasons to disagree on some stuff we actually be in agreement about. Like what person in their right mind is just cool with police brutality? Like, when you really think about it, who's just cool with that? Nobody in their right mind. Nobody's just gonna come out and be like, oh yeah, I'm totally cool with police brutality. So then what are we actually arguing over? What is this about? You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. And I could break so many issues down like that. Like, and you will really see a lot of people be saying the same thing. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm just venting now at this point, y'all. So, but I am going to go ahead and head out of here. Thank y'all for rocking with me, supporting me. Please become a member of my Patron. The link is in my description box. As always, thank you to my patrons, everybody that supports me. Thank you to the people that are always sharing my stuff, commenting and liking my stuff, because they get the algorithms going. Thank you to my VIP patrons, Michael Ray, Valdez, and Ray Ray. I really appreciate y'all. I really appreciate y'all, all y'all. And thank y'all for joining me on this Tuesday. Even though I had my little rant earlier, I feel very blessed. I feel very blessed to be here, be alive. It's a lot of people that did not make it today. Some even younger than you and I. So honestly, it's a blessing to even be here and focus on some of the dumb stuff that we focus on. Like, just to even keep it 100. Even to be able to just focus on such trivial stuff in some sorts is a blessing within itself. Honestly, when you really just think about it. So, yeah. Y'all chew on that a little bit. Think about it, because somebody didn't get their privilege today. And all right, y'all have a good Tuesday night. Let me go get my dinner on. Bye.